India's trade battle with Washington is heating up, and Russia is stepping right into the gap. In a significant statement, Moscow has announced it is opening its doors for Indian exports, just as the United States doubles tariffs on Indian goods to 50%. The Russian embassy in Delhi has slammed Washington's pressure tactics, calling the oil duties unjustified, and warning that they risk destabilizing the global energy market. The deputy chief of mission of the Russian embassy in India, Roman Babushkin, minced no words.
Russian President Putin visit to the U.S. Last week. After that, President Trump, as far as according to the reports, decided not to impose additional tariffs on India. But whatever happens, if whatever are the disruptions globally, so we are very much capable to resolve them for the mutual satisfaction with India, and we will just continue our partnership as we do, despite any external threats.
This statement comes as the U.S. penalizes India for continuing to buy Russian crude oil, a move Babushkin says is not just unfair, but dangerous. He argued that unilateral actions like these trigger supply chain shocks, price imbalances, and even endanger energy security for developing nations. The diplomat went further, accusing the West of acting like neo-colonial powers that think only of their own benefit. Babushkin said bluntly that if India were to cut ties with Russian oil, it wouldn't guarantee fair treatment from the West. Instead, it would weaken India's energy independence. The message was clear. India and Russia see themselves as true strategic partners. Even in difficult circumstances, Moscow insists it will stand by New Delhi. And this bond was underscored once again when President Vladimir Putin recently called Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share updates on the Ukraine conflict. So as Washington piles on the pressure, Moscow is sending a very different signal. For India, caught between competing global powers, the stakes have never been higher. On one side, tariffs and penalties from the United States. On the other hand, open arms from the Kremlin, promising trade and energy stability. This is not just about oil or tariffs. It is about the future balance of India's global partnerships and whether New Delhi can navigate the storm without losing key allies.
If the Indian goods are facing difficulties entering the U.S. market, the Russian market is, would welcome Indian imports to the most extent possible. So don't worry about that. So as far as energy is concerned, indeed, so we see that actually that would be quite detrimental to the global economic stability and energy security. As we discussed before, Russia is the largest producer of oil. India is the largest consumer. Any kind of unilateral actions lead to disruptions in supply chains, needs to imbalance in pricing policies. So it would potentially lead to price hikes and destabilization of global markets and endangering energy security of developing countries, first of all. Moreover, let's keep in mind, as per the Russian experience, so if hypothetically India refuses from the Russian oil, it will not lead to the equal cooperation and mutually beneficial cooperation with the West in general, because it is not in the Western nature, which was clearly demonstrated in recent years. So they behave like neo-colonial powers, just exploiting and just thinking about benefit for themselves. So we can just agree that this pressure is unjustified and just indeed quite unilateral. Another observation is that a lot of pressure comes from the European Union. And as far as our estimate is concerned, the recent package of sanctions against Russia from the European Union, the 18th one, would not have much impact on the Russian oil trade, because during the recent years we have been able to significantly reduce our dependence on the services in this regard which European Union is providing.